Skrillex, and more are all about to hit the stage right here at Staples Center. I'll tell you why coming up next.
Springfest shut down early because of a record number of concert goers. Find out how DPS plans to deal with the overcrowding in the future.
Nata Gurevich perished in the Holocaust at the age of 8.
And a group of USC students is trying to make sure victims of genocide are not forgotten. Find out how.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
Music artists of all types are performing in support of the American Civil Liberties Union. Good evening, I'm Mark Salinger.
And I'm Gabriella Vidal. We have Annenberg Media's Kaylee Heck at the Staples Center. Kaylee?
I'm here live right outside of Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. Some big names in the music industry are all coming out tonight to play a benefit concert for the American Civil Liberties Union. Now, EDM artist Zed was the mastermind behind tonight's concert, and this all started just several days after President Donald Trump was sworn into office. Zed has been openly opposed to the president's immigration ban and says this is his way of taking action. So as a result, tonight's benefit concert is called Welcome. Let's take a look at some of the artists that Zed is playing and sharing the stage alongside with. This includes the Imagine Dragons, Skrillex, Macklemore, and even Machine Gun Kelly. There might be some surprise guests added to that lineup as well. Now, Zed has also been very vocal on social media about supporting the ACLU. Take a look at some of his tweets recently. He said the main thought in tonight is to get donations for the ACLU. He also tweeted that he didn't want to just sit around, so this is his way of taking action to support something that he believes in. And it all goes back to Zed being an immigrant himself. He was actually born in Russia and raised in Germany before immigrating to the United States. Now, 100% of all the proceeds from tickets tonight will be going directly to the ACLU. Those tickets range in cost from $50 to $250 for those coveted pit seats. The concert is starting up right now at 6 o'clock, so there's still some time to come on down and see Zed and all those other artists we mentioned. But for now, I'm live in front of Staples Center. Kaylee Heck, USC Annenberg Media.
Sounds like it's going to be a fun night. Thanks, Kaylee. Now, here at USC, Springfest was cut short on Saturday night when twice the number anticipated of people showed up to see headliners Migo and Ray Srummerd. People began throwing bottles and trash onto the stage when the fire marshal announced that the concert was canceled. The Department of Public Safety acknowledged they underestimated how many people would come to the concert.
I don't think anyone from the planning board to student government to DPS expected such a large crowd. I know that in years past, somewhere around 5,000. This year, there was probably 10,000 people.
Police shut down the concert after people tried to jump fences to get in and were pushing to get near the stage. Carlisle says the school may have to reevaluate how they plan Springfest next year.
Is McCarthy Quad really the correct venue? Would it be better, say, in the Galen Center or maybe the Coliseum if the group is big enough? I mean, student government spends a lot of money on these artists.
Now, for all those students who were mad, Chief Carlisle acknowledges that many were upset, but says safety is always the first priority. A terrorist attack shook Russia's metro system and a natural disaster hit Colombia today.
Our international reporter Claudia Buccio is here now with details of those affected.
Thanks, Mark and Gabriella. An explosion on a subway in Russia killed at least 11 people and injured more than 40 in St. Petersburg this morning. Authorities are calling the explosion that came from a homemade bomb filled with shrapnel a terrorist attack. A second device was later found at a different station, which led to the shutdown of St. Petersburg's entire metro system. St. Petersburg is the former capital of Russia and the second largest city in the country. President Vladimir Putin was just a few miles away at the time. We talked to USC students about the attack.
I immediately then messaged my host mom and was like, are you and the family okay? Because, you know, it's scary. And then I messaged a couple of other friends that were really close to me.
I have a lot of friends that travel to St. Petersburg on a regular basis, and they might have been there during the explosion, so I was really worried about them, but I checked everything. They're all right.
The St. Petersburg metro system is the 19th busiest in the world and has never been target of an attack. No group has claimed responsibility. In Colombia, a state of emergency is still in effect in the southern city of Mocoa after a deadly mudslide. As of today, the Colombian Red Cross reported a death toll of 262 people and 262 injured. Rescue efforts are still underway to solve 311 cases of missing people. Heavy rain Friday night and a Saturday morning caused a major river in the region to overflow. The resulting mudslides have covered homes in the southern part of the country. Red Cross workers are on the ground trying to help.
What they're currently looking for is that we have resources to give humanitarian aid and that we stabilize families. What we're currently doing is organizing teams, specifically in the areas of water and healing.
I spoke with the man in Colombia who's working with his community to send support to Mocoa.
People bring canned foods, blankets, sleeping bags, flashlights, and basic medicine. This is a Colombian pain, and it hurts.
The Colombian Red Cross estimates it may take up to a year before families can return back to the area. Back to you, Mark and Gabriella.
Students gathered at Tommy Trojan for the last 24 hours, reading the names of victims of genocide. As Eitan Wallace shows us, USC wasn't the only school participating.
Natan Hoof perished in the Holocaust at the age of 10.
At Tommy Trojan today, students and activists joined together to remember.
Raif Salihu perished in the Kosovo War at the age of 21.
To honor the memories of victims of genocide.
Izia Goldiz perished in the Holocaust at the age of 7.
The event was organized by the USC chapter STAND in conjunction with the national organization #TogetherWeRemember. Both work to raise awareness of genocides around the world.
We've said never again and never forget, yet obviously genocide and mass atrocities happen again and again.
More than 30 communities hosted similar public gatherings worldwide.
What makes this reading of the names unique is that it commemorates victims from at least 12 genocides, and the event lasts exactly 24 hours.
From Abu Zaid al-Alawi.
David Amaral was among a handful of students who came in the middle of the night to read the names.
I have a midterm tomorrow morning actually, and I'm still here. There's a lot of genocide in the world actively occurring that people aren't fully aware of, and once we raise everyone's consciousness about the matter, then we really start making progress.
Other student leaders spent the entire night honoring the victims.
Well, you're still here.
I sure am.
It's that important.
It's incredibly important to me, yeah. This has really just made me remember to make sure that things like this don't happen again.
The organizers of the event say they are planning similar events for next year, remembering victims of genocide, one name at a time. For USC Annenberg Media, I'm Eitan Wallace.
We have some breaking news tonight. The California State Senate has approved a measure that would prevent law enforcement from working with federal immigration officials. The State Senate passed the measure on a 27-12 vote. The bill will now go to the State Assembly. It would essentially make California a sanctuary state for those here illegally.
The Senate is moving towards confirming Judge Neil Gorsuch to the Supreme Court. But the partisan fight isn't over.
Annenberg Media's Sanika Bargo joins us now with more. Sanika?
Thanks, Gabby and Mark. The Senate Judiciary Committee approved Judge Neil Gorsuch's nomination to the Supreme Court today. The nomination now goes to the full Senate. Senate Republicans say they expect Gorsuch to be confirmed by the end of the week, but it may not be easy. Only 3 Democrats have said they will vote in support of Gorsuch: Joe Manchin of West Virginia, Heidi Heitkamp of North Dakota, and Joe Donnelly of Indiana. The 3 senators are up for re-election in 2018 in states that Trump won last November. And 42 other Democratic senators have said they will vote against Gorsuch's nomination. Now, this means that Senate Democrats have enough votes to filibuster the nomination. But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has threatened to trigger the, quote, nuclear option if Democrats filibuster. This rule change would allow Gorsuch to be confirmed by a simple majority vote instead of the usual 60 votes. With 52 Republicans in the Senate, Gorsuch would likely have enough support to be confirmed under the new rules. One senator said he would support the rule change, but he hoped it wouldn't have to happen.
I would hope that we wouldn't have to do that. It would be the first time the Democrats or anybody had forced us into a vote on cloture. And frankly, it looks like they're going to do that. And they're politicizing this whole process.
Debate is expected to start tomorrow in the Senate, and a final vote is scheduled for Friday. The vote comes just before the Senate will take a 2-week break. Mark, back to you.
Thank you, Sonica. Television personality Dr. Wendy Walsh detailed a sexual harassment allegation today against Fox News host Bill O'Reilly.
I said, no, come back to my suite. At that point, you know, I'm a woman of a certain age. I've had situations like this in my life. I knew how to behave. And I simply said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And he immediately got defensive.
O'Reilly posted a statement regarding the allegations on his website saying, quote, I'm vulnerable to lawsuits from individuals who want to pay me to avoid negative publicity. To pay them to avoid negative publicity. In my more than 20 years at Fox News Channel, no one has ever filed a complaint about me with the Human Resources Department, even on the anonymous hotline. The worst part of my job is being a target for those who would harm me and my employer, the Fox News Channel. Now, this is not the first time that O'Reilly has been accused of sexual harassment. A recent New York Times investigation found O'Reilly and Fox News had paid out $13 million over the past decade to sexual harassment allegations.
Metro is moving vendors off the streets and into the marketplace. Find out why coming up.
And it's opening day for the Dodgers. I'll have more about how the city is making easier to attend games.
Later, we'll show a new exhibit commemorating the 25th anniversary of the Rodney King riots.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up? Oh, we finally bought a place. Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was
it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
That's low, that's low. That's low.
Look, he's blushing.
Seriously.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
LA Metro began a new initiative to give sidewalk vendors a new place to sell their products. Amber Media's Aidan McMillan shows us how MacArthur Park Metro Station has been transformed into a bustling marketplace.
This market at the MacArthur Park Westlake Metro Station was only supposed to be open for one day last year. But that day got vendors thinking they could do something more with the space. They went to city and metro officials to propose a new idea.
We proposed, what about if we do it every day?
So they worked with LA Metro and city officials to make this a permanent market.
A lot of people didn't have faith, you know. There was a few of us that had the faith that this was going to happen, and we finally made it, you know.
For vendors, the market is a better alternative to sidewalk vending.
It's nice over here, it's more comfortable, because outside it's ugly, it's a dirty.
It also provides vendors a sense of security.
When we were at sidewalk vending, we had to fight for a spot. So here it's more permanent and we feel more secure.
The MacArthur Park Station has been the most congested station for sidewalk vending on the entire Metro network. Metro officials have a list of objectives they hope the market will achieve.
To minimize blight and disorder, eliminate unpermitted street parking, reducing crime.
As you can see behind me, the market has not quite solved the sidewalk vending problem, and there's still vendors lined up along the street. However, supporters of the market hope that markets like this will spring up at metro stations around LA if this one is successful.
It takes some time for the community street vendors to acclimate.
The market has a one-year probationary period before LA Metro decides if the market can stay for good. For Annenberg Media, I'm Aiden McMillan.
A new parking structure next to the Shrine Auditorium opened today around campus. It has 1,300 new spaces for students and University Village workers. The Shrine parking structure will have regular parking spaces as well as charging spots for electric vehicles. One USC transportation official says exits on both sides of the structure will help reduce traffic congestion.
We've used it as a surface lot for the last couple of years, but this structure's been under construction for about 13 months. So it's really nice that it's finally done.
Mazza also says anyone with an existing parking permit can park this month for free. USC eventually wants commuter students to use the Shrine structure to free up parking on campus for visitors and university guests. Now, Gabby, it was a beautiful weekend this past weekend, and it should be a little bit nice, but I heard there's some rain in the forecast.
Yeah, I heard that too. I'm not too excited about that, but let's take it over to Addie Stafford with more on what the forecast will look like this week. Addie?
You guys are correct. Unfortunately, we're going to see rain by the weekend, but let's check out those current conditions. We're looking at about 62 degrees outside right now, partly cloudy weather, so a nice night out there. Maybe a light jacket is what you'll need. Now let's check out the mountains for tomorrow. Big Bear is looking at a chilly 33 degrees with pretty much 80s throughout the rest of the area. Now let's head to the coast. Malibu's looking at 64, pretty much high 70s, low 80s throughout the rest of the area there. And finally, the USC area, we're looking at 77 tomorrow for USC. Now let's check out your 5-day forecast. We're gonna fortunately get some rain by the end of the weekend. We got some partly cloudy weather though tomorrow and some sunshine throughout the week. We got high 70s earlier on, and we're gonna get into the 60s by the weekend. Now tornado season has begun, and a powerful storm system is barreling through parts of Mississippi all the way to South Carolina. The storm knocked down trees, collapsed roofs, and left at least 5 dead. Yesterday, a tornado with winds up to 110 miles per hour flipped over a trailer in Louisiana, killing a mother and her 3-year-old daughter. Though the greatest tornado risk is over southern Alabama, the storm could bring large hail, isolated tornadoes, and flash flooding to all areas in the southeast. Residents are advised to take shelter and keep their phones close to stay updated on weather warnings. Tornado and storm warnings are expected to continue until late tonight. So what a tragedy for those 5 people. I just hope that those numbers do not go up anymore.
That's scary stuff, especially down there. Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you, Addie.
Today's home opener for the Dodgers is one of their most popular events of the season, and renovations may make it easier for fans to reach the stadium. It was the opening home game of the Dodgers season, and fans were excited.
I love baseball, and I've always been a fan.
I've never missed opening day in 6 years.
One thing Dodger fans have in common, finding a way to get to the stadium. Some took advantage of the Dodger Stadium Express, a free bus service for anyone with a ticket to the game.
We've started since 2010. We've transported over 1.2 million fans, and that really reduces the car trips and the trips around the city.
The service is designed to reduce carbon emissions. With this service, Dodger fans have quick access to the stadium from Union Station.
You get here, you get on there, and they drop you right at the stadium. You have to deal with the traffic, and it's very inexpensive.
The Dodgers Express line is a popular transportation service for Dodger fans traveling to and from the stadium. But what about for people who continue to park on the stadium lot? It was really easy coming in. It was super smooth. I didn't see any of the gates full or anything, which is good.
This year, there's a new parking lot, and traffic will flow in a clockwise direction. The main road inside the stadium will also be extended for more public transportation. Fans think this could eliminate some headaches for Dodger fans.
I think overall it'll be good as long as you can get here in advance and maybe even leave a little bit earlier before the end of the game. That might actually help a little bit.
Many hope these renovations will give Dodger fans easier access to their favorite stadium. Now, I know Dodger opening season, but there's a couple of other things happening this week, especially with regards to March Madness.
A big night for college basketball. Let's toss it to our sports anchor, Kristen Laudra, for more.
Thanks, guys. That's right. The NCAA championship game tips off in just a few minutes at the University of Phoenix Stadium. But back here at USC, the women's water polo team is one of 3 sports racking up huge winning streaks this season.
And baseball is finally back. We'll take a look at how the Los Angeles Dodgers did today. Sports.
If you store your guns properly, I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please, do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Get your You're not sitting here.
Yes, I am.
Move! Give it to him hard!
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stab me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to ATVN. All the madness has led us here, the NCAA National Championship game, where the North Carolina Tar Heels are facing off against the Gonzaga Bulldogs. The game marks Gonzaga's first appearance in the title game, while UNC is making its 11th. Here you can see some of the fan fest outside the stadium and fans that have already entered the large dome as teams are warming up on the court. The Tar Heels are out for redemption after losing in the last seconds to Villanova last year. But it's not just tonight's title game that has people talking. Throughout 66 games so far in the tournament, there has been quite a bit of madness, with brackets busted left and right. The last perfect bracket was busted after 40 games. The number picking the entire Sweet 16 correctly was less than 1 in 1 million, and just 0.0026% of people picked the Final Four correctly. We spoke to USC students to see how their brackets are doing and who they have taking the title.
I was in last place for a couple of weeks, and Gonzaga did well. I predicted them to win.
It's destroyed, it's gone, but I hope UNC wins.
I actually had Duke winning in my bracket with the final game against North Carolina.
Actually, I had 0 Final Four teams. I think Gonzaga is
UNC.
My opinion, their experience and thirst for revenge make the Tar Heels too dangerous to beat. But Aaron, who are you taking in the championship?
Well, Kristen, UNC is good, but I think Mark Few and Gonzaga have maybe one more up their sleeve. So tonight, I'm taking the Zags. But while today ends college basketball, it also marks what some call the happiest day of the year, baseball's opening day. Now today, the Dodgers rolled over the San Diego Padres, cruising to an easy 14-3 win. And leading the way for those boys in blue was outfielder Jock Peterson with 5 RBIs. But now today at opening day, it wouldn't really be fun if I couldn't throw in my own predictions for the year, right? So, all right, here we go. I think the Cubs are going to come back to the World Series this year after winning it last year in shocking form. I think they're going to lose this year to the Boston Red Sox. The addition of Chris Sale this offseason is just that extra piece that I think that Red Sox rotation needs. I'm picking them in this year's Fall Classic. As far as the MVP race goes, I like Nolan Arenado of the Colorado Rockies in the National League, Carlos Correa of the Houston Astros in the American League. I think these guys, both who play third base, are that extra step their team needs going forward to the postseason. But regardless of how that postseason ends, today has been a strong start. Back to you, Kristen.
And keeping with the pros, the National Hockey League announced today that its players will not be competing in the 2018 Winter Olympic Games. In a statement, Commissioner Gary Bettman said, "I think the overwhelming sentiment of the teams is that it's very disruptive on the season." He went on to say that the league now considers the matter officially closed. 2018 will mark the first time since 1998 that NHL players will be absent from the Winter Games. And moving from the pros back here to USC, 3 Trojan teams are getting streaky this season, holding on to some very impressive win streaks. Lacrosse, water polo, and beach volleyball have all secured streaks in the double digits. The #1 women's water polo team is on a national record-setting run of 52 straight wins. #9 lacrosse holds a 22-game win streak on their home field, and the #1 ranked beach volleyball team took home their 50th straight victory on Sunday. The women of Troy surged past the #4 Arizona State Sun Devils in an 11-4 victory on Sunday. The team struggled to find a rhythm early on, but hit their stride, scoring 6 in the 4th. Now USC looks to continue their perfect season with an MPSF win over Stanford on Saturday, Senior Day. And 2 former Trojans, Juju Smith-Schuster and Adoree Jackson, were back on campus this weekend as part of their Trojans for Life art project with artist Keegan Hall.
If you was to have a music video or a movie or something, that's probably what we would look like off the scene. Like, people just want to be around us because, you know, we always had that high energy. We always got a bright personality to make sure that we make others around us having fun.
I just think about it like ham and cheese croissant. You know, I'm the ham, he's the cheese, and you know, everybody loves ham and cheese, so you know what it is, and you know, just treat it like that. And for us to come together and lead together, it was a fun ride.
The next time you can catch these 2 together will be on the national stage at the NFL Draft.
Thank you, Kristen. We'll see who wins tonight in the bed championship game tonight. A new art exhibit takes you back to a historic time in Los Angeles history.
Find out why the incident is still remembered in the interactive exhibit.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late,
she doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
Be nice. She's new. Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened? Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi. You mean you were driving? Yeah, I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
This month marks the 25th anniversary of the Los Angeles riots, and a new art exhibit is shedding light on its historical significance. Called Reimagine Justice, the art gallery combines an art and memorabilia from 1992 with music, video, and interactive pieces. Well, thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Gabriella Vidal.
And I'm Mark Salinger. You can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Good night.